Hello and welcome. And I am the Godless Granny, and this you are tuned into is Breaking Out the Skooma, which is just a fun time together with some friends. And I've invited, first of all, I invited Jay because, hey, you can't have a show about drinking and not invite the Nevermore Tavernn. So, Jay, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Jay from the Nevermore Tavernn. I talk to people, I debunk stuff, I make cool videos. Me and Jen have been running, God, over a year now, hadn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was last April.
Factor.
Yeah, I think me and Jen started Saturday nights last April. So, yeah, it's been over a year now.
Okay. And Jen is a regular guest of mine because I really like working with Jen. We've only met a few weeks ago, but we've become fast friends very quickly. Jen, go ahead and introduce yourself for anyone here who might not know you.
Oh, I think they all know me. But yeah, I'm Jen from Jen's Little Corner. I do debunking science videos, LGBTQ stuff, and several different streams with different people where basically raising awareness in people's voices and discussing interesting topics because it's fun.
Okay. And Robin says that he is currently busy, but won't be chatting, but is here. So that's nice. And Jeff is here. Godless Scummer. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Jeff, aka Godless Scummer. I've got a small YouTube channel where I just talk about a lot of stuff. So what might be interesting is to be the scummer on a skooma stream. So.
Oh, do we have to call you the Godless Skooma now? Do we?
I'm pretty sure Nick Suter's actually mispronounced it as that before.
Okay. Well, okay. The way that this show came to be is for Mother's Day, Robin gave me this. It is the Elder Scrolls cookbook. And so the first thing I looked for in the Elder Scroll cookbook was
how to make skooma.
Well, actually, the first thing I looked for was Horker stew.
Oh, Horker stew. Oh, that's good.
Rather, Horker loaf. Because I was wondering, how do you make Horker loaf? But they do have a recipe for Horker loaf in here, and it looks
any good.
I haven't made it yet because there's several ingredients that I don't have, and so I have not gone to the grocery store now. Once I picked up just a couple of things, but other than that, I have not been to the grocery store since the lockdown. Robin is 19 and is much less susceptible to the virus than I am. So Robin has been doing all of the grocery shopping for me.
And Robin's fault. You're a bad boy.
Shame on you, Robin.
Robin buys whatever I put on the grocery list, and I didn't think to put stuff on the grocery list that I would need to make that. So
it's your fault.
Yes, it is my fault. Plus, Robin is a vegetarian, so Robin wouldn't touch Horker loaf.
Oh, okay.
Does it have the recipe for cinnamon rolls?
Yes, it does. I did look for that as well, and
then that's a good cookbook.
But the one thing that I looked at, I saw on the list of what it had in here was a recipe for skooma, and I said, "Skooma's a drug. What is it? A bunch of a drink with cannabis or something?" So I looked at the recipe for skooma, and as soon as I read the recipe, I said, "I got to make that." Here's the picture that they have in the book.
All right.
And what it is it's 3/4 cup of boiling water, 2 cups of vodka, 10 dried apricots, a pinch of cardamom, and a dash of vanilla extract. And everything on that list was stuff that I had except for the vodka. And Robin could not go get the vodka for me because Robin is underage. So I did have to go to the store and get some vodka, and I did. And then what you do is you boil the water and you add the sugar, and you dissolve that. You pour it into a bottle and you add the vodka and the apricots, and then put it into a dark place for 2 to 4 weeks. And it says to occasionally shake it. So I have had this sitting for 3 weeks now. And that's why I thought I'd have a big party to break it out, because I've had this fermenting for 3 weeks now. And we will see how it goes.
Well, I don't have skooma to join you with, but I do have a couple of bottles of this. Say cherry beer. So.
Oh, that's perfect. You have cherry beer, and I have apricot. Essentially apricot brandy.
I have raspberry liqueur, but I'm not going to drink it right now.
It might make your... Oh, gosh, this is good.
It might make me sleep. Is that what you were going to say?
And that's why it's illegal in Skyrim.
Yep.
To be perfectly honest, even my pain meds didn't make me sleep. So, man, that's annoying.
Now, I will tell you that when it comes to drinks, what I like is girly drinks. I like things that are sweet and fruity. And that's exactly what this is. It is sweet and it is fruity.
You'd like this stuff, I think. You'd like this stuff.
I can really taste the apricots in this. My goodness, it has a very strong taste of apricots.
Cool.
I imagine you could make this with just about any fruit, though, too, couldn't you?
I'd imagine so.
My dad used to brew his own apricot wine and raspberry wines and blackberry wines. And he never drank them. Everyone else did.
Junk Shop just says that he forgot the curfew and he's got to run to the grocery store now. Bye, Junk Shop.
Oh.
See you later.
Yeah, Raven says I'm going to have to make the skooma now.
Very good. If anyone wants the recipe after this program gets uploaded, which will take about 24 hours after we finish, I will put the recipe for the skooma into the description. And that way anyone else that wants to make it can.
It's so frustrating how long YouTube are taking at the moment to properly finish off the thing. Stream. I think Dave was saying it looks like they're batch processing them all at the same time at the moment, which is really frustrating.
Oh, is that why it takes so long?
Yeah. So it really kind of depends on when you stream, how long you're going to be waiting.
Okay. I thought it was the length of the stream.
But it's weird.
Yeah, I'm sure that must be a factor.
So yeah. Oh, probably, yeah. But I mean, I guess it's all down to them running less staff at the moment and probably using servers for different things.
Hans asked rose or cider. I'm not sure what Hans is asking. So Jay, have you ever made brandy?
Does he mean rose or rosé? I wonder.
Oh, I bet you're right. Rosés. I'm not sure. Probably.
Did I ever what?
Have you ever made brandy?
No, I've never made any alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When I was in college, I took a class. It was chemistry for non-science majors. And we made wine and we made brandy in my chemistry class.
Wine's not too bad. Brandy would be a bit more difficult.
Would you say, Jen?
Wine's not too bad to make, but brandy would be a bit more difficult.
Yeah, what we did was we made a fruit wine, and then after we finished making the wine, we sampled it, and then the rest of it we turned into brandy.
Oh, okay. So you restilled the wine.
That was 40 years ago. I don't remember very much about it.
I don't know what Ed's trying to imply there.
We're not drunk yet, Ed.
I'm not drunk at all. I'm not going to drink at all.
It's only like 5 a.m. for me, so no.
It is 5 a.m. for me.
Oh,
Well,
Hans says,
it's 5 p.m., but I work third shift, so it's 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
Hans says it wasn't a question. He was just saying that he likes both.
Yeah.
Okay.
I apologize for yawning. Suddenly
Oh.
now I feel tired. This is ridiculous.
It has been quite a week. In fact, after I finished my stream on Thursday, I was thinking, boy, I sure am glad that I'm doing something different on Saturday just to kind of come down from all of the craziness that we've been through all week.
Yeah.
It's nice to have just some gentle conversation that's not politically charged.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week. There's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm. So, Jeff, what's soccer like there in the UK right now?
Well, it's not taking place at the moment in the UK right now, but they're hoping to get like the leagues going in it's about 2 weeks or so. But I think they'd be behind closed doors. So there's I'm aware like in Australia, some of the sports have started up again. As Jay and I know, because we sat with Chris and watched a rugby league match last week. So
well, if that's what you want to call that.
It wasn't. I'm going to say that Chris has been billing this up because Jade never watched rugby league or whatever. And then he picked a game that actually just turned out to be a really dull game. So
yeah, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah,
I'll try it again, but that game was horrible. I was so bored. I'm like they're not doing anything.
That was a very dull game, actually.
That's too bad. Okay, Mr. Shadow Kitty says it's confirmed that I am a moonshiner.
Ed!
Hey, Ed. Ed, would you like to join in? If I send you a link, would you want to join? Let's see. So, Jen, what have you got coming up?
Me? Well, aside from running the Star Wars D&D game later, well, tomorrow for you guys, but later today for me on Ring's channel, I will be doing a video, probably not today because I put out a vote for what I should do next, and at the moment it's a tie between doing a video about Archimedes and doing a video about masturbation. So we'll see how that vote goes.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I think
just make sure that the beginning of your video has a warning disclaimer before you.
That's not the one that I voted for, though. I voted for the fourth option. I can't remember what it was. Okay, Paul Camish says, "Will hate me for saying it, but it's been lovely not having football on the TV." Hated. When it comes to sports, I root for one team. So I watch one team on one sport. I watch the Green Bay Packers, and that's for Jeff and Jen, that's a pro football team.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually knew that.
you and Jenny Morgan would get along then.
Jenny Morgan?
Yeah, she supports she's a Green Bay Packers fan.
Okay, cool.
Jacksonville.
They've got quite a big following over here, Jay. Actually, the Jacksonville Jaguars, because the NFL plays some games over here once a year. Jacksonville always come over.
Mm-hmm.
They asked to come over because I think they found that they got a real potential big audience, and I mean there was even talk a couple of years ago of them moving to London, but I can't honestly see that happening.
I heard something about that,
yeah,
but I didn't know if it went anywhere.
I know the NFL wants to have a franchise in the UK someday, but at the same time, I don't think they'd want to do an expansion either. So it's, but NFL's got, of all American sort of sports, it's got the biggest following over here. I mean, I suppose the NBA's got a little bit of a following. Baseball's got like zero following in the UK at all. I think it's maybe me and one or two others. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Ed, if anybody wants a good prison hooch recipe.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea. And Hans says, sympathies I don't hate, but if you aren't invested, it's boring. Yeah, I totally get that. My second child played soccer. She was quite good until she had a heart condition that seriously interfered with her being able to play. And it was only interesting when she was playing.
I'll be right back.
Okay, no problem. Let's see. I was trying to decide what I was going to do next week, if I should just do some live streams or if I should do a new video. And then I saw something today that made me decide that maybe I should do another video. I was trying to stay off of some of the heavier topics, but something that I mentioned in the stream that just hasn't even changed at all is the way that some people are just so emboldened by Trump.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And, people who don't think he's fanning the flames, just watch what some of the people are saying on Twitter, and you can see how much he's fanning the flames of the unrest.
I honestly think he wants it.
There was a thing I seen said that he's gonna. There's how they put it. It wouldn't surprise him if he tries to shut down this year's election due to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think you can do that.
He could postpone it, though. A lot of elections were postponed because of the pandemic. In fact, here in that's who I forgot to invite. I knew there was somebody else I wanted to invite. It was Seraphim.
Oh, she's there.
Yeah, she's there.
In chat.
I'll send her an invite and see if she wants to come.
We should invite David. He'll go on a political rant.
Actually, I just did, and he said he's not feeling well.
Oh.
What happened to Ed? Ed not coming in?
No, Ed's not coming either.
Damn it, Ed.
You now say that for everyone, don't you, Jay?
Damn it, Jen.
It doesn't.
Yeah. Jay, did you
only
see
has the same
Jay?
ring.
There's what?
Did you see the damn it, Jay?
No, I didn't see the damn it, Jay.
Oh,
They got that one wrong.
Well, we were a little bit late.
Oh, I apologize. It was my fault. I honestly thought it was 5:30, not 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's screw you, Jay. It's not damn it, Jay.
Yeah, it's screw you, Jay, not damn it, Jay.
Okay, Seraphim, I can't find you on Twitter. I don't know if we're Twitter.
I can send her the link if you want.
Yeah, please send.
Because it's not Seraphim. It's
Yeah.
I can never remember.
Hold on.
I can never remember your Twitter handle off the top of my head, Seraphim. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Seraphim,
give me
who's
a
not
couple of
feeling
minutes.
It's Dave. Dave's not.
Oh,
feeling
Dave
it.
sent it.
Okay, Dave says he sent it to Sarah. Sarah, if you want to join us, please join us.
Dave's not here, man.
Yeah, he is. He's right there. Or in the chat, rather.
Ed's was naked and eating steak. Well, I can go with that.
Oh yeah,
But
Dave
what
said
if
he sent it on Discord.
all I can picture now is Ed dripping something hot onto himself and screaming in agony.
No, doing the fist, dripping it and doing the fist of God.
And you would so put music to that, wouldn't you, Jay?
Oh, I so would too. I'd get that. I'd have to find that 70s porn disco thing.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think anybody wants to see me naked.
Yeah, I'm of the same opinion about myself.
Is it?
30
I mean,
years
yeah.
ago, you might have, but not anymore.
I would, but I wouldn't just get a lifetime ban from YouTube, but probably from the entire internet if I did that. I'm the one person who could get I'm the one person who could like get kicked off of Pornhub for being naked on video. So
that's true. I don't have an issue. It wouldn't bother me seeing anybody naked. I don't like clothing.
Yeah, you're just hopeful there, Dave.
I don't like clothing, so I only wear them because I have to.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I have a very minimum of clothing. My husband owns 3 times as much as I do. If you go into our closet and you look, 70% of the clothes in the closet are his, and only 30% are mine.
Yeah, mine and Raven's the same way. I probably got like 50 t-shirts, but I only got like 4 pairs of jeans.
I have a full wardrobe and a full hanging rack.
I was told by a psychologist that I think like a man.
It's not 70-ish
Really?
shirts. It's only like 50. I do know I have enough Sons of Anarchy shirts. I can wear a different shirt for almost 2 weeks straight.
I haven't watched that show in ages.
Yeah, I know. I might have to start that one up again as soon as I'm done with the Next Generation.
Yeah,
That's my life, Raven. That's why I try not to go clothes shopping very often.
Seraphim says, I put on clothes for you guys. I totally believe that.
Why?
It's not necessary.
I don't know
It's
how
not necessary.
I don't know how many times.
Yeah, no need.
I don't know how many times I've gotten an invitation from Chris, atheist pastor, that said, "Hey, want to join our stream?" And I've always had to say, "Give me 10 minutes. I gotta go get dressed."
Where's this conversation going to?
I don't know, but after Dave's question, I've only got one thing to say, Dave. You've seen my intro video for my channel. I'm pretty sure I've come on camera before.
Maybe we should go to Fig Leaves.
Fig leaves. Oh, good
Fig
God!
leaf.
No. Oh.
I think I'd need palm leaves for these.
You said go to Fig Leaves, and the first things that popped into my head was freaking
Who were you thinking of?
Church of Gale.
Church of Gale.
Oh, that was so horrible.
Oh my God, I remember
I had
that.
to pour bleach in my eyes.
The worst thing was you showed that to Angie.
Yeah, I know.
You horrible person.
She was gonna lose her shit. Have I ever stripped your dance video? No, not yet.
He's working on it.
I'm trying to figure out how to do a 10-hour loop video. Just Ed dancing.
Of Ed dancing to all the different songs.
Because there's 2 different dancing Ed videos now, so I could like every other one.
yeah. There's all sorts of tunes I think you could set that to.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Well, I mean, there was a video that went viral a few years of group cybergoths dancing, and someone had whatever. I can't beam with Thomas the Tank Engine. It was just hilarious. It just worked so well. Hi, Sarah.
Well, Jay, have you?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
He might not have done that, Ed, but it's possible he masturbated to it.
Damn, Jen.
If you can hear me.
Hey, we here.
Stefan.
Hey,
Yay!
Miriam. Thanks for joining us.
I'm also wearing clothes because I have a kitten and she thinks that she needs to climb my leg to get attention. I'm trying to teach her not to do that.
Okay.
So naked legs and little tiny razor claws are not fun.
Ed's
rather-
channel's gonna turn into a dance instruction channel.
Or rather, this is not the kind of scratching that I'm into. So
I definitely could use some dance instruction. Everyone
here,
knows
youngin'.
I'm a terrible dancer.
I am a horrible dancer. The only time I'm relatively decent at dancing is whenever I'm removing clothes, apparently.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good skill.
Yes, it's a great skill to have.
Although the question remains, your clothes are removing somebody else's clothes.
I've done both. Both are equally fun.
Okay. We now have Randolph Richardson, too.
Hey, Randolph.
Randolph.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
You know what's
Randolph.
not fun? You know what's not fun, Seraphim? Removing somebody else's underwear with your teeth and then getting their pubes stuck in your teeth.
TMI.
No, that's whenever you joke and say hairball.
Which is not the same as TMJ.
Boy, this devolved real quick, Jen.
Oh, I expected it to because this is supposed
We
to
need more of your
be fun.
inspirational tweets, Jay.
Are you following Jace's?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ramen. Is that correct?
I don't know if it. I kind of like ramen.
Yeah. No, I really like that. That really stands out to me. That time you posted. This is an inspirational,
inspirational
tweet. That's
tweet.
just brilliant. Looking forward to more from you. Hey, I just wanted to say in person, thanks for trying to organize that conversation debate recently. It was it's a shame it didn't pan out, but thank you so much for trying. You really tried hard to champion to make that happen. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I had no issues doing it. You know, I got no dog in the fight either way. So
yeah, you were perfect.
Yep.
So what are we talking about?
Well, okay. The topic is breaking out the skooma.
I love some skooma, especially in Skyrim, but unfortunately I do not have any. I have work
closest I've
tonight,
got-
so
The closest I've got here is this empty spoon of peanut butter. I already ate the peanut butter.
Robin, this is what Robin gave me for Mother's Day.
oh my god, I'm so jealous. I would love that.
That's a nice looking book.
It
What's
was
it
a
about?
recipe for skooma, and I made some. And
How does it taste?
It is bloody fantastic.
it's basically apricot vodka.
It's
That's basically what it is, from what I've
apricot
understand.
brandy. Yeah.
Apricot brandy. Yeah.
I
You
would
take-
probably forget about it, so I probably need to find someone who knows how to make stuff to make some for me.
Well, it's really easy because you just boil water and add sugar, and then put that into a bottle with some brandy and some dried apricots, and then let it sit for 2 to 4 weeks. And I let mine sit for 3. And it says to shake it once in a while, which I did, but I did not have a lot of space in my bottle. So when I would shake it, it was more just turning it upside down and letting the apricots run to the other end of the bottle and turning it back up.
So now I need the sloth hoodie blanket and a Elder Scrolls cookbook. So I'm totally an adult.
I just cracked open my second bottle, so.
Yeah, I have work tonight, so I don't need to be drinking, unfortunately.
Mm.
Though I would really love my job if I did drink. I'd be like, thank you so much for calling Insureco. How can I help you today?
There's nothing better than being a happy drunk.
Exactly. Well, I'm an affectionate drunk, so but I'm also a happy drunk.
You
I'm a
and I
happy
are so
affectionate
much
drunk.
alike.
I'm a sleepy drunk.
Because it's to put it nicely, as slutty as I act, I'm actually not that affectionate for the most part, unless I'm being intimate. But whenever I'm drunk, I love everybody. And everybody needs a hug and to be snuggled. It's weird. Mine isn't that. She just thinks that everything, if it dangles, it's going to be attacked. So whenever I start inviting like my friends with benefits or my partners over here, I'm gonna have to warn them. It's like, all right, there's a kitten. Cover up.
Cover up. Otherwise, it could be Cat's Revenge by Claude Balls.
Exactly. Like my female partners, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but my male partners, I'm gonna have to tell them, like, you guys be careful with your sweetness. It's nah.
Well, one thing's for sure is I understand why they tell you to serve this in a cordial glass. Because you do not need very much of it.
Oh, so it tastes really, really good. I'm going to have to try that. I have to find me a recipe for that. Or you can send it to me because you love me so very much.
Well, actually, what I mentioned is I am going to put, once this video is finished processing, I will put the recipe in the description.
Have I ever told you I love you so very much?
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
We've got to work together more often.
Yeah, usually people do stuff whenever I'm sleeping for work. I kind of took a nap like right after work this morning, so I'm wide awake and I can't sleep. So
Randolph's had to go, so.
Yep.
No, bye, Randolph.
Yep. Family calls.
Hi, Randolph.
Hi, Randolph. Yeah, I've got the same problem as you, Seraphin. Because I wasn't feeling well yesterday. That was not because of drinking on Friday night. I hadn't drunk that much. I think I'm coming down with a cold actually. So
She got the Rona.
Well, the night before. I do not have Corona. I ended up napping this yesterday afternoon and in the early evening. So when it got late in the night, I go.
I was wondering why you was tweeting at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Because I'm bloody wide awake. That's why. Why aren't you asleep? You're normally asleep then.
I went to bed early because I had to get up and work on the truck before I came here.
Okay.
Sleep is for the week, and it's Saturday. Damn it.
That's all right. We don't need to sleep on Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had to get the truck out of the way. I would do this, and then I've got Jeff at 9:30. So I had to get done.
Yeah, there's no way I've got Corona. We haven't had a case in WA for over a fortnight.
By the way, when he's saying Jeff, he's not on about me. Just so anyone.
No. It's Steaming Cup of Reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the
network.
Does this Jeff spell it correctly, or do they spell it the weird way like this Jeff does?
I think it's the correct way.
Okay.
At least that's what I put. That's what I put it in the description. So
the lazy American way. Yeah.
No, it's Jeff, not Geoff.
Yeah,
How rude.
I know. That's to teach them how to speak English one of these days.
And these bloody Americans.
Hey, we speak proper English.
No, we speak American, damn it.
That's right.
I'm gonna say that was a poor phrasing there.
Yeah. We speak proper English.
We speak good English.
Yeah.
No, we talk good English.
Yes, we talk good English.
Did you get your direction from Jesus? Did you?
Oh, speaking of getting direction from Jesus, On Facebook today, I saw a quiz, and it said, "How much do you know about Jesus?" 10 out of 0 out of 100 high school students surveyed could even score 10 on this quiz. How well can you do? So I took their Jesus quiz. I got a 15 out of 15.
I need to find this quiz and see how well I do.
It said you are a genius expert. You must have good moral values. Well, the one question I had to guess on, though, was the very first one, because the first question was a trick question. The first question was, when was Jesus born? And I said, that is not possible to answer, because if you go by Matthew, where it says that Jesus was born during the time of Herod died in 4 BC. And if you go by Luke says that he was born during the census taken by Quirinius. And Quirinius didn't, or when Quirinius was governor. And Quirinius didn't become governor until 6 AD. And so there is no time when Jesus could have been born that fits both gospels. There's a 10-year gap in there. And so
that just makes me think of this. That just makes me think of this family whenever I worked at Walmart. Like every spring, there was a family that would come and buy a birthday cake for Jesus. And they said that they put it out in their yard for Jesus. Like they didn't celebrate their kids' birthdays, but they would celebrate Jesus' birthday. So they buy like this beautiful, elaborate cake and have "Happy Birthday, Jesus" written on it. And they would rant to whomever checked them out about the fact that Jesus was born in the spring and not in this winter, and the fact that you have to have a cake for him. And I'm like, that's just. Do you put ice cream too?
Isn't it like 7 days?
At least they got.
I think that's what they were. Yeah.
At least they got the spring part right, anyway.
Yeah, true.
It definitely sounds like 7 Day Adventist.
It does. That's one of the few churches my mom did not drag me to, trying to make me religious. So. I didn't get exposed to that, at least.
See, I lucked out. I didn't get dragged to anything, so.
I didn't either. My parents left. My parents were Catholic when I was born, and they left the Catholic Church when I was quite young.
Oh, my family was a Southern Baptist, but my mom, when she found out that I was kind of doubting my religion, she took me. My cousin took me to a Mormon church, Pentecostal, Methodist. There's also the Primitive Baptist, which is kind of slightly different than regular Baptist. She took me to.
Most of the Primitive Baptists around here are black churches. Is it that way where you live?
Oh no, they're all white people here.
Oh,
I think there's only like one Primitive Baptist church that's mostly black people, and that's because the white church wouldn't let them go to their church because racism. There's a bunch of others that my mom took me to as well because she tried to make me become religious. I'm like, I still don't believe. It's still stupid. Entertaining, but stupid.
So you got a grand tour of all the insanity then, all the different brands of insanity.
And I did ask her why she didn't take me to a Catholic church, and she did tell me that's because they're not Christian. Same thing with Jehovah's Witnesses.
No.
And I don't understand it. They go, Catholic Church isn't Christian. Really?
Well, no. The reason she didn't take me to Jehovah's Witnesses church is because they are mostly not white. Excuse me. And she's like, we don't talk to them. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll go talk to them at school then. Bye.
And I never understood that argument. The Catholic Church isn't Christian. It's like, what?
Yeah, they think that a lot of things aren't Christian. Like, she thought that Mormons weren't Christian. She thought basically anything but Southern Baptist to her wasn't Christian, even though she took me to those churches trying to convert me to some form of Christianity.
I went to a number of churches that said Catholics weren't Christian, and the reason was because the most of the Protestant churches say that you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Savior to be saved, and the Catholic churches say that you have to go through the sacraments to be saved.
Yes,
and so because the Protestants say that it's accepting Christ that saves you. They say the Catholics aren't saved because they never accepted Christ. They just did the sacraments.
And a lot of them think that Catholics worship Mary instead of, God and all that. So they think that's the reason they're not Christians, because they worship Mary instead.
Yep. And I changed my mind on that point when I went to college because my roommate was Catholic, but she was a very liberal Catholic. And she said, I accept Jesus into my heart every time I take communion. To me, taking communion is I'm given the body of Christ. I swallow it. I have taken the body of Christ. I have accepted Jesus.
2 of my supervisors were Catholic. One of them, she's
Yeah, there he is. Got him back.
Sorry, hit the wrong button.
No problem.
Oh, Jay's fault.
That's my fault.
Ooh, that sucks, Raven.
Blame Jay.
I'm sorry, sweetness.
Yeah.
She raised Jehovah and then Fire and Brimstone Baptist.
Yes, that's what I was. Fire and Brimstone Baptist.
Douche canoe.
I went to
one of those where you don't sit in the front row, otherwise the pastor will spit on you. So you have to sit in the back out of the splash zone.
Yeah.
I'm probably the lucky one here. Then I was never been baptized or raised religious at all.
Me either.
I mean, closest I suppose I got to it really is I suppose obviously going for a primary education, it was Church of England school, but most of them are. But all that really involved was doing like a daily prayer and a hymn or an assembly enough or something. And you might be once a week got a Bible story or something, and which even then it never made any sense to me whatsoever. But the closest I got to it was when I was about 8 years old, and I joined the Cub Scouts. I thought, that looks like that could be a lot of fun. And I didn't know I'd have to go on church parade every month when I joined that. And yeah, so it meant at least once a month sitting through a blooming sermon in a church, and it was it to me, even like at a young age, it was dull and made no sense to me whatsoever.
Speaking of the Holy Communion, there, Jesus has got the best one: whiskey and Ritz crackers.
Hey, I'll be in that church. Jennifer,
that's my chair. It needs oiled again.
All right.
Well, I've got the red berry liqueur there. I could go and get some crackers. Sunday here, I can have communion.
I was glad you said whiskey then, because I would have doubted you wouldn't have had much credentials to form a religion if you said Budweiser.
No, whiskey. Definitely gotta go whiskey.
Yeah. Even less credentials if he'd said Foster's.
Well.
Hey, Dave, who pays for the whiskey, and what do we have to lick it off?
Me.
State mattress run by Pastor Pillow. By the way, speaking of the GOD and Jesus is still looking for their Holy Spirit. So if you've seen the little fucker, let us know.
I think you just mentioned it. His name's Jack Daniels, isn't it, or something?
I usually have amaretto on hand.
Yeah.
And I did have some rum, but I haven't been able to find rum. They've been sold out since the whole shutdown thingy. So I can't have my rum and Coke that I usually like to have.
Oh.
I've got a very nice dark rum downstairs at the moment. I just don't have any Coke to go with it.
You have to share, Jeff.
I have something called a Motorhead dark rum, which is very nice.
Oh, now that sounds interesting.
See, what I want to have is there's this lovely flavored vodka that tastes like pink lemonade, and it's amazing. And it's getting to where it's the season for them to sell it. So I'm going to buy a bunch of that whenever they have it on the shelves.
My problem with vodka is what it does to me, which has been now witnessed on streams.
So far, none of the alcohols have different effects on me that I'm aware of. No one has told me otherwise or shown me video otherwise, so I'm good.
My absolute favorite for rum is probably Pusser's Gunpowder Proof, which was the actual recipe of the British Navy before they actually before they decided to get rid of the daily rum allowance sort of thing in the 70s. But that's fairly strong rum. There's one that's made not far from me. I think it's called HMS Victory rum. It's just literally made just down the road from where I live. That sounds interesting. It's certainly, I don't know how good it is. I know it's strong, so I'm going to give that a try at some point.
Hey Jeff, you summoned Jenny.
Yep.
You summoned Jen Morgan.
Oh, you mean when I mentioned about
I
mentioned it. Team. I mentioned it. Yes, I mentioned you'd get along with her, Granny, because she's a Packers fan. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Jenny, it's from my Elder Scrolls of Skyrim cookbook, and it's a drink, and I made this, and it took only 3 weeks to make, and it's water and sugar and vodka and dried apricots and a little bit of cardamom and a little bit of vanilla, and you put that into a dark place and let it sit for 2 to 4 weeks, shaking it occasionally, and you end up with an apricot brandy. And it is delicious. And the apricot is really strong. And it's we got Raven as a convert too. Yay, Packers.
Yeah, I saw that. So is there fights in your house, Jay?
Go local sports team and/or college. Yay.
I won't be having that. Two of my best friends cannot be fighting in their house.
I probably not a good time to mention that I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. Then is it?
Oh, you're out. Leave.
Yeah.
Am I the only? Am I one of the few that doesn't really do any pay attention to sports at all?
Yeah, we're together.
Like the only thing that I ever noticed about sports was a lot of the guys have really nice asses. That's all I noticed.
That's why I always like the Seattle Seahawks. I always thought that the pants that the Seattle Seahawks wore showed off their backsides the best.
I will have to look into that because now I'm curious.
I don't mind sport as long as I'm participating. See, when I used to play netball all the time, that was awesome. But and I will occasionally watch a netball game, but I'm not big on watching sport.
See, I played rugby, but I probably had there been anything like remotely going for it in the UK at the time, I probably would have taken up American football as something to play. But
Raven likes frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf? Oh yeah, I have played frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf.
In answer to Raven, yes, the Packers are owned by the fans. They're the only team that is owned by the fans.
Yeah.
I own a share of the Packers. And so, yeah, they have a board of directors rather than an owner.
They do.
My brother likes the Dallas Cowboys, but he also likes the Louisiana, whatever it is, Tigers, because we're in Georgia and everyone hates them. So he wants to think like the team that everyone hates.
Yeah, down here in the South, people are much more into college football than they are into pro football.
My thing about it was I bought him a hat for that team for his birthday, and we went out to eat. And some of his friends were there. One of his friends threw his hat away in the trash.
Oh goodness!
Because they didn't like the team, and I just blew up on them. I'm like, "Fuck you! You're buying him a new hat." And well, it's not my team. I don't care. It's a hat.
Yeah. I went to a Indianapolis Colts Packers game, and we went to it in Indianapolis. I was living in Fort Wayne at the time. And boy, the fans were pretty rough. Somebody wore a Packers cheese head, which is a triangular shaped, very large head. And somebody grabbed it off of his head. They started tossing it through the fans, and the fans tore it to shreds.
The worst one that I heard was whenever I worked in claims at my work. This couple had moved to another state, and they had still the things from the state that they were in for their team. Someone cut their brakes because they didn't like the team. So we had to fix their car, of course, because they found the person doing it, and then we had to send the person who took the claim. She had to go and testify in court over it. And it was this big fiasco about it, and it was annoying because of a stupid team thing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, them football fans can get devious, and destructive.
They can. They were basically trying to murder this person over a stupid football team.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always heard that the Philadelphia Eagles fans were pretty darn intimidating to be around.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard that there's a famous story of them pelting Santa Claus one Christmas, but they had some guy dressed up as Santa coming onto the pitch or whatever to sort of, I don't know, to cheer, just spread a bit of Christmas joy at halftime. But apparently the Eagles were not doing too well, so the entire crowd just pelted him with snowballs and he had to run off.
Yeah. It's amazing the difference between going to a college game and going to a pro game. I went to a college game in Wisconsin with my older brother, and I'm originally from Wisconsin. I lived there for the first 21 years of my life. And my husband and I both went to UW schools, but not UW-Madison. And we were going to a game at UW-Madison, and my brother went to Oregon State. And they were playing Oregon State. My brother was wearing Oregon State colors, Oregon shirt. And all the Madison fans said, "Hey, welcome to Wisconsin. Happy to have you." And, it just night and day difference between being a guest at a college game and being a guest at a pro game.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mind you, it's however bad that it might be in in American sports, between fans of I don't know, say whether it be baseball or football or whatever, just perhaps thank yourself so you've not had the problems we've had in English soccer in the past.
Was it Real Madrid and
or probably I'd say possibly one of probably the two worst places I'd have thought is River Plate and Boca Juniors in Argentina, and Galatasaray and Fenerbahce in Turkey. Those are sort of games where you're taking your lives into your hands. If you go to them, you go to either of them. It's insane. Because that it's like the fans really are going to war with the other. It's insanity. Unfortunately, it brings up some of the. I think as much as I like sport, you got to recognise it brings out some of the worst tribal instincts at times as well.
The only game that I've ever watched, like a professional game, was I went to a Braves baseball game.
Okay.
And I was distracted the entire time with a guy, so it's okay.
Baseball is so boring.
It was so boring, and thankfully the guy that I was flirting with, he wasn't interested in the game either, so it was fun.
Now I'm going to date myself. I used to go to Brewers games when I was in high school, and Robin Yount was pitching.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
I don't either.
I don't follow baseball.
70s.
Yeah, I was born in the 70s.
So was I.
Not the oldest.
So I've got to actually. You've mentioned the Packers, Granny, and I see Jenny's mentioned something in the chat. Either of you think you could do the Lambeau leap?
Not anymore. I cannot jump. Well, I'm not supposed to jump at all because I have.
What on earth is the Lambeau leap?
Hardware.
Lambeau Field's the name of their field, and it's this kind of touchdown celebration that's been, I suppose, was pioneered by Green Bay, I suppose. So they jumped in the end zone, where they jump into the crowd over the wall.
Yeah, they jump into the stands.
I would like to say, Granny, I love the challenge you dumped on me on my last video where I made an assertion during the video and didn't put any backup evidence to it.
Okay, Jenny's right. He wasn't the pitcher. He was playing, and my best friend that I went to the game with was a big fan of his, and I was thinking he was the pitcher, but she's right. He was not the pitcher.
What were you saying, Jen?
Oh, during my last video, I made an assertion about the ages of people in the Old Testament, and I did not put any reference in my comment section to where that came from because I was quoting from my memory of a paper I'd read a very long time ago. And instead of going and looking for it, I just stated it in the chat, and Granny called me out on it.
Yeah, I hadn't got a chance to watch that one yet.
So was it just like a vague? They were very, very old.
Yeah.
No, well, there's two aspects of it. One is that there are some scholars who think there's a misinterpretation of months to years, and that all those older ages should be divided by 12, and that actually brings them down into a time frame that actually makes more sense. But there's also the fact that the Mesopotamians used a base 60 math system. And if you mistranslate in that, you end up with an order of magnitude difference in the ages of people. Anyway, this was very prominent in a lot of the kings and that. It was even worse for some of them. You know, you ended up with people in some of their literature that when the translations were done wrong, you ended up with people who were like several thousand years old. And it's like, no.
That seems legit.
So yeah, and it was purely because people were misunderstanding what the number systems were when they were doing translations from these old languages. And we think there was probably a very similar thing when translating the ages of people in the Old Testament. There was probably also a bragging rights thing between different cultures in that, oh, you said your people were this old, so we have to say ours were that old too. So there was bits of culture and mistranslation all thrown in together, plus the aspect of the numbers mean something, meant a lot to these early cultures. So you had a lot of numerology in the early Abrahamic religions. So making people's ages numbers that meant something numerically was important when you were actually writing these stories later. So
that makes sense.
So there's a whole heap of mixed up reasons why there is, but a large part of it was just misinterpretation.
Well, one of the reasons I was really interested in why that was, in incorrect interpretation is because Answers in Genesis' whole determination that the earth is 6,000 years old is based on those ages in Genesis.
Which was my point, yeah. It's
Yeah.
even worse for you if you if you remove those translations and get rid of some of those ages of people who are up around 1,000 years old. All of a sudden, you've got an awful lot less than 6,000 years, and you don't have the time frame between people to even get to Egypt building stuff, or the much time difference between the start of the earth and the flood or anything like that. So you're like, yeah, it doesn't. It really doesn't work. And no matter how you do it, it doesn't work. But the age thing is just ridiculous. And I mean, of course, the worst thing of all is the genealogy that's given in the Bible in Genesis does not match the one given by Luke in the New Testament.
Yeah.
So which one are you actually going to use to get to your time frame? But I didn't actually mention this in the video because I just thought it was ridiculous.
Right.
Sorry?
They claim they're both accurate though, for some odd reason.
Well, I was told that one was a genealogy of Joseph and the other is the genealogy of Mary.
Yes, that's what that was. The other one was like they claim that they're both accurate because one of them's his paternal and the other one's paternal.
Yeah.
Maternal.
Well,
Sorry.
Nothing funny. How did you know any?
Sorry, you're breaking up, Jeff.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he might need to refresh because
you might need to refresh, Jeff. We have no idea what you just said to us.
Go ahead and try again.
No, I think.
Yeah, we got.
No, I think it's because I think it's because I'm a little bit away from the router. I said I was on my phone tonight. I'll move a bit closer.
Yeah, router.
Okay.
Rooter.
Yeah, don't you hate it when they say that? It's router.
It amuses me, so we're good.
Raven's trying to feed me Jägermeister and Jose Cuervo.
I like
Oh, cool.
Jägermeister and Red Bull. I like
Yeah,
Jäger
they
bombs
did.
so much.
See, I only brought up my stream because to get you guys off sport, because sport is so boring.
Is Raven drunk?
And Jay's saying something to me, and he's muted.
No, sorry. He was talking to Raven.
Oh, okay.
I
No,
lost what
well,
the conversation was. Sorry.
Can you hear me a bit better now?
Yes.
Oh, that's much better, Jeff. You were saying?
I was going to ask, how
I'll
do you
be
know
right
any
back.
of this about what you were saying about the Bible? Though, were any of you there?
Oh, hey, I posted something about that recently, and a lot of people had a lot of fun with it. I said, yes, I am 6,000 years old. Prove me wrong.
I am 6,005 years old, so I'm older than there. So yeah.
I have done that to a young Earth creationist before, and when they've used the Ken Ham line on me, like they've asked, were you there? I said, actually, yes, I was, and I can tell you that that's not what happened. And they sort of said, and then they'll turn around and say to me, well, how, you know, says you can't have been there. Says, well, how do you know? Were you there?
No, were you?
Exactly. It says, and then it's like, it says, you see the reasoning now here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Were you there is the worst possible argument.
Well, the first time I heard the "Were you there?" argument was my introduction to Ken Ham, and I couldn't believe that they were saying it because it was in a video directed at school children where they were being told to challenge their science teachers. And I said, you're telling school children to be disrespectful to their teachers. And the video that my kids were watching, they got it from the school. I thought, why is the school teaching the kids to be disrespectful to their own teachers?
Do you know the thing that annoyed that probably pissed me off the most in the video I debunked was the bit where Georgia was going on about how they use Smarties to try to teach kids she used Smarties to try to teach kids about radiometric dating, a subject she knows absolutely nothing about to start off with. But she said it's a good thing because kids like candy. You can persuade them of anything with candy. And I'm thinking, could you sound? And I said it. Could you sound any more like the creepy guy in the panel van?
Also, that sounds like a pedophile. Does she have like a big son's free kid?
I'm like, what the hell?
Is she gonna ask them if they're gonna help her find her lost puppy now too?
I mean, it honestly wouldn't surprise me with Answers in Genesis. It really wouldn't. And I just found the whole thing really creepy. I mean, she was giving a lecture explaining to parents how to indoctrinate your children, how to indoctrinate their children. And I'm like, no. This is... And in the middle of that, accusing science of indoctrinating people.
Oh yeah, they do that all the time.
It was really disgusting.
Answers in Genesis. So like my Facebook is covered with people like sharing their stuff, and I'm like, that's stupid.
She's a molecular biologist, and yet she denies evolution.
How do they find these dumbass people that are like that should know better?
She went to get...
Yeah, it's not that they're dumb, it's that they're dishonest.
Yeah.
Ara does a really good job of explaining that in the video, in the interview he did with me on the video that I released a week ago. He was talking about Snelling. Snelling is a certified geologist. And he said, Snelling worked on, I don't remember what, Jen, I'm sure you know what, the formation in Australia that he was dating. It's some famous formation. And he wrote an extensive scientific paper on how to date this formation. And at the same time that he released that paper, he was contacted by the predecessor of Answers in Genesis, and they paid him to say exactly the opposite. And so on their behalf, he published stuff saying exactly the opposite.
Yeah, and that's what started this whole thing of them using the incorrect radiometric dating methods to get the wrong answers to try to discredit radiometric dating, even though they knew that they couldn't use those methods to date the things they were trying to date. It was just deliberate hocus pocus to try and discredit what they were doing.
I believed them for a long time.
It's disgusting. Oh yeah, it's fucking disgusting.
They
sorry,
do seem
Graham.
like they do seem like they know what they're doing, though. They seem like they know what they're talking about. They use buzzwords, and a lot of times they will have someone that is kind of charming and seems like someone like you should listen to.
Mm-hmm.
But George is worse, in my opinion, because on their ham and eggs news. It's Jess's news to ham and I really wish Paul was in here because Paul would remember doing this because he actually did a thing about this. But it'd be really interesting. It'd be interesting to have Paul's voice on this if he was in chat and paying attention, but he probably isn't. But if he was about, it'd be interesting to have Paul here. But she actually said in the panel that when she was studying at university, she gave the answers that they wanted, even though biblically she knew they were wrong. So she didn't believe any of the science she was being taught, but she learnt it for the sake of having a degree that she could use with her work in the creation science thing. So she only wanted the degree to be able to say, I've got a degree, listen to me, I'm a doctor. That's it. That's the whole reason for her getting a degree. And AI and Answers in Genesis help pay for her degree.
Yeah.
So it's I find that completely disgusting. That's just.
I mean,
she cared nothing for what she learned, basically.
Answers in Genesis have got an operation in the UK now. I don't know how big it is. I think Dave was saying something about it the other day, if I remember. He may know a bit more about it. What it is, I don't know how successful they're being, but I think it's sort of that I could see room for these groups to grow, because I think even though, like, say, religion as a whole has been slowly ebbing away in terms of, more people are identifying as like non-religious or atheist or none or whatever, but I think at the same time you're seeing this weird, paradoxically, you're seeing those who are religious going more and more to the extremes.
Yes.
And Answers in Genesis is, creationism isn't an extreme form of Christianity, really. Young Earth creationism.
I actually think more of us in the community should be challenging Answers in Genesis, because it's insidious, the stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, they're well organized. They're well organized and well funded as well. They've got,
Oh, exactly. And I mean, for every one person that sees any of our videos, there are literally thousands of people who get to see the drivel that Answers in Genesis puts out.
Not just them,
And
like
it's all science denialism. I hate it.
Not just them, just like that Josh Fairstein guy. Like, there are so many people that share his stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, when I was first starting to look into this, I started watching a little bit of Aaron Ra. Could not understand a word he was saying because the vocabulary was just over my head. So I went to Viced Rhino and I could understand more of what he was saying, but even that was a bit over my head. And so then I went to Apologia, and Apologia I could understand. And once I had listened to enough Apologia, then I could understand Viced Rhino. And once I had listened to Viced Rhino for a couple months, then I could understand Aaron Ra. And I told a couple people, I swear I looked up the meaning of the word eukaryote 4 times because it's not a word that I've ever used. And so
Oh
I
yeah,
Well,
I used to like take notes whenever I
I-
started watching atheist videos when I was younger because I was like the only person in my hometown that wasn't a Christian. So I had like a file on my computer that was hidden that my family didn't know how to find because I was the only one that could use a computer, like with the definitions of words, because there's like words I never heard because my school did the bare minimum. They're like, we're just preparing you to go out and farm. That's all we're preparing you for.
I'm pretty sure. Kent Hovind learned the word eukaryote for the first time when he had that discussion with Aaron.
Isn't it
So
hilarious
funny.
when
I said, "Well, you think an elephant and a pine tree are related?" And it's like, and Aaron's response straight away was, "They're both eukaryotes, are they not?" And you could just tell Kent had never heard that term whatsoever. And
you could just see
you
like
could just
above
see
his
that
head
he must have been
processing.
And it's like, and it's weird because Kent wasn't on camera for that discussion. Interestingly enough, so it's either he's sitting there googling it, or got one of his minions to Google the word eukaryote for him really quickly, like to make it look
to read the definition out and then not
to
understand
make it look like he knew what he was talking about.
I loved his debate with cats, with conspiracy cats, where
Yeah.
where
I'm not prepared for
where cats asked him about what evolution actually was, and then Kent Ross read out the definition, meaning changes in allele frequencies over time, and Cats goes, "Do you know what an allele is?" And I'm not ready for that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Singer.
Oh, you taught this, did you? Do you actually taught this?
To be honest, I wouldn't know a lot of that stuff that Cats is going on about this, but then I'm not the one out there to saying that it's
You
not
weren't
real
debating
and trying.
and saying know
I'm not,
Even
Yeah.
even if he did teach it, he probably did it like a lot of the people that like my teachers.
He-
Their goal was to get us out of school so we could go to farming,
Sarah,
basically. Sorry.
He never taught in schools. He taught homeschooled kids. Is what he taught.
That's true, yeah.
He taught either from someone's house or at a church somewhere. But he went round for a long time saying that he was a high school science teacher for 15 years, and he
taught
got
Sunday
caught.
school. I'm as much a teacher as him.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget that I am hosting the wedding of Kent Hovind and Darth Dawkins on the 16th of June, and the event is a fundraiser for Trevor Project, and we are really hoping to get some videos from some of the biggest names in atheist YouTube, wishing the happy couple well. I've been posting some stuff on Twitter and Facebook and my channel with invitations, and I do have the fundraiser posted on my Facebook page now. I still need to link it to the video. Ed wants to know if he needs to wear a tie. It might be a good idea. I'm actually going to wear a nice dress to the event, but I do not know how to do some of the production on this.
I think we got a match to. If you're a guy, you got a match to groom, and you got to wear a Hawaiian shirt.
So this is on the 16th.
Yes.
You know,
I am off that day, so I will be attending.
Okay, very good. Chris,
I don't own any dresses currently that are appropriate, so I'll just have to wear like some other clothes.
Okay, Chris is going to do the wedding. He's going to be officiating. I am going to be the mother of one of the brides. And I asked Grumpy Old Dude if he would be. I think I asked him to give one of the brides away. I'd have to go check my Twitter.
Oh, they're both going to be brides now.
Yes, they're both going to be brides.
You're going to be a bridesmaid, are you, Jen?
And Jen is a bridesmaid.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It'll be a lovely, lovely wedding, I'm sure.
I asked Vice Rhino if he would be the ring bearer, since his name is an anagram of Eric Hovind.
Yes,
and
that's
Eric
right.
is the son of Kent, and traditionally at a wedding, the child of the bride is a ring bearer. But he said he's not sure if he's going to be able to make it. But I think I could ask him just to give me a clear screen rhino, and I could put a ring on it, and we could just use it and make him a ring bearer, even if he's
If you
not.
like it, you should put a ring on it.
Yes.
We're
Who's doing the bachelorette parties? That's what I
no,
want to know.
I have.
Oh,
I have
that's
heard-
up to you and me, Seraphin.
I
Sweet.
have heard. I have heard
right,
rumors that a. I have heard rumors that a prenup has been signed here in because Kent's well aware that you know that if worse comes to us, if they were to have a child together, he's well aware that something could happen to him, or he might have to go away for a while, and then it's no good. Howl at the Moon's son might end up taking his ministry in his park again. So I've heard that there's a.
There's a
I've
prenup.
heard that he's asked for a prenup.
Okay.
But I can't confirm that. I wasn't there, as Ken Ham would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, were you there?
Well,
I
yeah.
was expecting to get some pushback. I thought Darth would hear about it and would start complaining to me, but
He'll turn up in the chat that day. Mark my words.
that's fine. He's welcome.
Gee.
That should make
Look,
it interesting. It'd be nice if he attends his own wedding.
Yes, it would be nice if he would attend his own wedding. His ham.
I believe Darth will turn up at the very moment. Chris says, "If there's anyone here who knows why these two should not lawfully be."
She said she was transitioning, so we should be respecting her pronouns.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Okay.
I don't quite know what pronouns Darth's
Oh,
going
that's true.
by.
They
To be
did.
honest,
So maybe it should be they them. Yeah, maybe it should be.
Yeah,
You could be they
Yeah.
them.
I haven't seen
mean-
Darth in a long time, Dave, so I don't know.
I haven't either. Well, I've never seen
I
it,
haven't.
period.
Should we be worried?
You've seen
Like,
his minions though.
he usually likes to turn up in Math Pig stuff too, and he hasn't been in that in a while.
Mhm.
well,
I've watched a few of his things just to get a feel for what he's like.
Asshole.
last-
well,
He's an asshole.
I just recently watched stuff with him, and he's a fucking asshole.
yeah.
Oh,
As I said, I've said this a number of times, and I know I'm not the only person that has this opinion on Darth. And he is not interested in conversations. He likes to have these quote unquote debates or whatever.
Mm.
He's not interested in an honest conversation. His motivation is trying to get atheists in a gotcha. This is why he tries to lead people down his script.
Yeah.
Now,
Recently,
He's not
been
actually-
doing that in Discord, apparently.
yeah, apparently that seems to be his hunting ground at the moment, but he's I mean, he's not that good at it, let's be completely honest. I'd say actually, if you look at some of his stuff from sort of 4 or 5 years ago, he's actually gotten a bit better. He's actually refined his. I mean, it's still the same nonsense, but he's putting it across maybe a bit better. But
He's not as good at his script as Sai is, though.
no, and I
See,
think
Sorry.
I think Sai genuinely believes it is his stick as well.
Ray Comfort
And Sai,
like that too.
and to be perfectly honest, Darth is an asshole. Sai isn't an asshole.
Who's
No,
Sai?
Sai
Sai
Timber,
Broken Gate. Yeah, Broken Gate.
He's a weird dude.
He's well-known priest.
He is, but he's not an asshole. He's
not a
an
bad
apologist. He's a bit over the top, but he's not a bad person. Darth is a prick.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I shut his. I was gonna say I shut his shit down more than once when he was debating Chris on my channel. I'm like, look, ask and answered, move on.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was one of the things I watched to get a feel for who he was.
Yeah.
What you'll notice about him is he likes to be the one asking the questions because he's trying to lead whoever he's having a discussion with down this path.
I got a kick out of
it's
this thing
just-
with Shannon Q. That was hilarious.
It's just really dishonest, but that's why I like what Chris did because Chris just flipped Darth's script against him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That was we
Just
the funny thing
just
was
applied
I
it
knew
to
about
Hinduism
that.
as opposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Chris talked about that before going into it. And I'm like, Oh, dude, you need to make this so hard for me because I really hard not to laugh through the whole thing, and once I hit end, I freaking was rolling.
He's thing with Darth is the second anything isn't going his way, he rage quits.
He rage quits or he just starts yelling random stuff.
You know, he's been known to rage quit a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah, he rage quit with Madsen
Yeah,
not
last
too
time I
long
heard
ago.
from Darth Dawkins was someone was in Math Pig's Discord trying to get someone to debate him and some other apologist dude. I don't know if they ever got anyone to like agree to go on there because we're like not going to some random Discord server.
Oh, that reminds me of something. Let's have a look. So I'm gonna see if I can find this thing here. But there's some sort of quiz going all around online, like a Darth Dawkins quiz kind of thing. But okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just try and find it. Yeah, that's all right. Keep talking. I'm just going to see if I can. I'll see if I can find this thing. But
Okay.
I broke a nail. You should feel bad for me.
I have the strangest
okay.
nails.
I do too. Mine are like really, really thin and brittle. So I've just gotten to where I like basically paint them so they won't break. And I forgot to paint them recently because I got distracted because I'm easily distracted, and I broke one of them, and it makes me sad.
Oh.
Mine bend, and like the pinky here, it grows off in that direction, and most of them claw.
Mine curl under as they get longer, so I have to keep them a certain length.
Yeah.
And I don't like going to the nail salons because my nails are like really narrow at the bed and then they fan out. So that's the shape that people want. But the nail salon people complain about it the entire time.
Who wants to take? Who wants to take it? I don't think we'd do the whole thing right now, but who wants to take a couple of questions here on the Darth Dawkins Debunks quiz?
I am all for it.
Sounds like
Okay.
fun.
And the rule is, if Darth says it, it must be so. Good luck. According to Darth Dawkins, is the biblical God falsifiable?
No.
No.
Okay. So, no. Submit. Wrong answer. Darth says there are ways to falsify the Christian God. See the video below.
That's what I thought. I thought he had
falsified.
said something that it was falsifiable.
I mean,
I've only seen a few things with him in it, so I'm not very familiar with him as a whole.
Well, then he doesn't understand what falsifiable means.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
proving doesn't exist, but you can prove that some of the things that are in the Bible are not true. And if that's what you mean by falsifiable, then yeah.
In which case, we've already done that, and we've proven his God doesn't exist.
Okay. Right. Question 2. According to Darth, could he be wrong about everything he claims to know?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, Darth thinks he can't be, but everybody else could.
Yeah.
So let's say no. Wrong. Darth says it's possible for him to psychologically deceive himself. See video below. Interesting.
No.
TMI there, Amber. TMI.
What?
Right. Okay.
She's gonna put the naked steak you're eating to good use.
Okay. Question 3. According to Darth, how many ways are there to falsify something? Is there only one way, or are there many ways?
There's many.
I think there's many.
Yeah. Well, it says several here, but let's answer. Wrong. Darth says there's. Now, do you get the idea where this quiz is going here?
No.
Well, if we were to give the opposite answers to each of these, right, it would say no, wrong answer according to Darth. So basically, someone has put this quiz together to show all the times Darth Dawkins has contradicted himself.
Ah,
Yeah, so it doesn't matter what you answer; it's always going to
Well,
say
it's
no.
always going to be wrong. 'Cause,
maybe we should make the gospel according to Darth.
yeah. Yes, that's where that thing's going, because it turns out Darth's kind of contradicted himself rather a lot over the years, and someone's put this quiz together. The Darth Dawkins debunked.
Well, we've been going for close on an hour and a half now, and I know Jay's got another stream to do in a bit, and he probably needs something
In
to
a bit?
eat. Jen,
3
Couple of
hours.
hours, isn't it?
Yeah,
3
3
hours.
hours, but-
Okay.
yeah,
No,
But I do need something to eat.
it's
I've been
up
up
to you.
for a little while.
yeah.
It's up to you, Granny.
Well,
I'm
I
good
was
to
just
go
going to say
for longer if you want to.
we'll just all say goodbye, and then we'll shut this down. So let's let anyone who wants to have any closing comments. Jeff, any closing comments, or anything coming up that you want us to keep an eye out for?
Well, I'm doing my stream, my Asterix stream with Hissy tomorrow, but it will be taking part at a different time because Hissy's got to work, so it will be happening after Media Musings on One Ring's channels tomorrow, as opposed to doing it before. So and I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to double check this, but I'm sure it's Tuesday. I've got a Christian friend of mine coming on to the channel for just not a debate, just a friendly chat about beliefs and whatever. That'll be sometime Tuesday. So
Okay, Jen.
Well, it looks like from the poll that I put up that I'm probably going to be doing a video on masturbation sometime in the next couple of days.
I didn't see a poll.
I did.
Yeah.
apparently there is
Did
a poll.
everyone vote?
No, because I didn't see a poll.
Yeah, I put a poll up asking what I should do my next video on. And at the moment, I'll read them out for people because it's kind of interesting. I asked if they wanted me to do another flat Earth debunking video, which has only got 12.9%. Masturbation for women, which has 35.5%. Archimedes and curves, which is 25.8%, and science of space flight, which has got 25.8%. So it looks like I'll be doing a video on masturbation. Aside from that, I'll be DMing the Star Wars adventure game that we're doing on Rings channel later on, and I will probably have a Raising Voices stream sometime this week. I'm also hoping to get out a communications video, and I'm not sure if Jen Aldrich and I are doing a stream this week or not. Jen's been rather busy, so we kind of haven't got our guests organised for it. So
Okay.
I voted for Archimedes.
That's
you
what
voted for
I voted.
Archimedes.
I thought about that, but I actually voted for the space flight one.
I'll probably end up doing all of them because at some point I will do a flat earther again, and the other ones actually sound interesting, but just depends which one to do first, doesn't it?
Yep.
Or I might get busy this week and do 4 in 1 week.
Yep. Hey, maybe you'll masturbate to a flat Earth debunker while talking about space.
I'm not going to do that. Have you seen them?
Okay, Jay.
It's not one of them.
Jay, closing thoughts or what you got coming up?
I got, like I said, I got Jeff from Steam and Cup of Reason in the iNetwork at 9:30. I think tonight, if I remember right, at 11, I'm supposed to be filming with Pastor. Americans reacting to Aussie music, so I don't know if we're streaming that or if it's just a recording.
You're
I'm
not.
not sure. Is that okay?
Yeah, he's going to record that and put that together into something for later.
Oh, okay.
I did that one too.
So I think I'm supposed to be doing that at 11,
Okay.
11:30, something like that. And then I think I'm going to be working on my sex and gender video this weekend.
Oh, cool. That sounds interesting.
Yeah,
It is.
Yeah, Jen helped me out with a little bit of that. So
Understandable.
got the script written. It's been sitting here on my desktop forever, and I keep looking at it, going, "I should do that." What's this? I'm gonna go do this.
Okay, Sarah.
You're just scared of posting it because you might cop negatives.
No, I don't care about the negatives. Because I got all my sources cited from where I got it from. So, if they want to, talk shit, I'm like, hey, I got it from the sources, and I'm talking. The sources I've got are, they're actual legit sources. I've got Scientific America, the Gender Spectrum, Medical News, Healthline, Planned Parenthood. So they're all actually. I didn't go to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Well, I take that back. I did go to Wikipedia, but then I went all the way down to the bottom to the references.
Right, exactly. Yep, it's a good place.
Wikipedia's a good place to find references.
Yep. Yeah, don't read the article. Go to the bottom and check the references, and go to the references.
That's the best thing for Wikipedia is useful. You can read the articles to get you a basic idea of something you're looking for, but it's good to go to the references. That's what it's really useful for.
And thank you, Dave and Amiga Nuts, for posting all of the links for us.
Amiga Nuts is the shill lord, I swear.
I don't know, because Dave's really good.
Yep.
So is Inquisitive Pondering. So it's kind of we got a 3-way thing going there.
I vote Amiga Nuts first, and then like Dave and Inquisitive can be like their prime minister or whatever the fuck.
Okay, Seraphim, do you have anything coming up?
I'm getting a new stylist tomorrow, so I'm hoping to actually do some art.
Oh, nice. That sounds good. We'll be looking forward.
What kind of art do you do?
I mostly draw animals. If like on my channel, I basically have I have some birds and a frog.
Okay, sounds good.
Because I just kind of nerve to start posting stuff.
Okay, I will do another stream probably on Tuesday evening. I'm starting to make Tuesday evening a regular thing, but I haven't decided what to do this week. And I will also do a video this week. It's going to have something to do with Pride Month, and it's going to have something to do with the troll that has gone just berserk in Twitter as a result of Trump. But I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to take that one, but that's kind of the direction I'm going to go in with that. And so
I think we should do an AIG when you do your Tuesday night.
Okay, I could also do the part 2, that video that I released. It was an hour and 5 minutes long, and I only addressed 3 of the articles that AIG covered in that AIG news. There were 2 more articles in there on Planned Parenthood. I could go for that. And Amber
as a panel or as a pre-record.
As a pre-record. But maybe I should go do that as a panel. Maybe that's not a bad idea.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe occasionally with some of the panels that any of us do, we should be challenging AIG, because Ken Hoven's not really. I know his stuff is out there on the fringe, but it's places like AIG that are the main source of stuff for the science denialism, and I think challenging them is something that we have to do.
Okay. I think I'll work on that then for a stream on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll work with you on when you're available, because I will definitely need you on that panel. Okay. Thank you for everyone for joining us. It was great. The Skooma was great, and the company was great. The conversation was great. So thank you, everyone.
I thought you said the scammer was great, because he is.
Oh, yeah, the scammer is great too. Yep, the scammer was great.
Hold on. Let me do it properly.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Be water, my friends.